Oh,
We got you.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear anything. Couldn't hear you talking. Yeah, it's absolutely warm. I mean, I had to as least amount of friction on the clothes as I can right now. It is a warm day. Hope you guys be safe out there. If you have to spend a lot of time on the outside, make sure you put on a lot of sunscreen. Make sure you stay hydrated because it is quite hot.
Sun's out. Stricky's guns are out.
Oh, man.
Plain and simple.
Whatever's left of them.
On the block, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. You see it down there in the bottom left corner of the screen under Stricky's right bicep right now. Good stuff at Mary Ellen's. They're back open today. If you're not going to the Salt Dogs game, make sure you get down to 27th and Pine Lake and say hi to Charles and the crew. If you are going to the Salt Dogs game, get down there early. Early dinner, eat at Mary Ellen's, then pop right back up Highway 2. Very convenient to get to Haymarket Park here. All right, Stricky, you swinging today or not?
Two things.
Okay.
I'm going to answer that question.
Okay.
But first, let's talk about this. I was just sitting here thinking about it.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction?
Did we go on a commercial? Oh, okay, cool. Whoever's on the board, thanks, guys. No, check this out. I just sitting here thinking about it, right? Just knowing how hot it is. And we're smart guys, right?
I tend to think so.
People on the ticket
degrees.
The ticket listeners, you're smart. And we're, but just think about the contraptions that have been made over the years.
Plenty of them.
The new ones that I've been seeing is the fans that can connect to your phone and can do all. Just think if you would have conceptualized that, put it into motion, how extremely wealthy you would be right now.
Probably very.
Because think about how that would work. You a hot day like today, you're sitting out, you're going to the Salt Dogs game, you're going to be outside. You could be in the sun, you could be in the shade. But what does it matter? You got a nice little contraption with a little fan on it. Some of them add the water to it to give you the mist. I mean, just think of how that contraption would have worked for you, Austin, right here out of Lincoln, Nebraska. You would have been the designer.
I bummed I didn't get on that sooner. Those things do kill your phone battery, but it's so worth it.
Oh, they're so worth it.
You're not texting anyone, you're not calling anyone, but it is more than you can ask for. Man. Okay, now where's the real question?
The question.
You swinging?
Oh, geez. If I don't pass out before I get down there, I mean, literally walking in here, I was like, oh my, just how hurt will I be if I swing this bat today, tomorrow? Jake Sorensen, if you're listening, bring in Jake. Jake hits the golf ball left-handed, don't he?
Smart man.
Yeah, tell him to bring in an extra glove. I need it.
I will be swinging. Nick and Rico and I talked about that a little bit. Don't expect anything crazy. No fireworks off my bat. I'm going to do it. I don't care how hot it is. I got to say that I was down there to do it. Exactly. Yeah. So the moral support would be nice. Well,
the moral support is also coming from the young players on the screen up there.
Yeah,
Little League is getting it done. Washington and Texas is up right now. Chinese Taipei just destroyed Curacao, but that's neither here nor there. It's great. It's great to see the young folks. I always admired when I played Little League ball, just those who were able to make it, because it is a hard process. It is not a process that comes just like you just show up and you just kind of go and play, your local groups and you're the man, you're the bomb. But all of a sudden, you get down there and start playing some of those regional teams in your region and then trying to expand out. And then you get into the state parts of it. There's some players out there. And so, kudos to those that have had the opportunity to make it. I think it's a fun time. It's a great experience for those young aspiring athletes.
I like these uniforms more this year than I usually do. The Washington ones, they're listed as Team Northwest. They're green, kind of foresty green with a navy blue. Some white print as well. Those are cool. And Texas kind of has, honestly, kind of like a Suns theme going on with different shades of orange.
Kind of Texas-y, very Texas-y.
And they're from Texas. So makes perfect sense. You brought up Curacao, and that had me curious just how many Major League Baseball players are from there. Not a whole lot, but some pretty notable ones. Ozzie Albies, current second baseman of the Braves. You have Kenley Jansen, just got his 400 save earlier this year. Jair Jurgens pitched for a while. Jerkson Profar, Jonathan Scope, Andrelton Simmons, great defensive shortstop. But probably the best player to come out of Curacao is a guy that would have played in your era, Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones. Yeah, Atlanta Brave. Yeah, had a great career. Did he get in? I know there's a lot of talk of him possibly getting in. Yeah, I know there's been some talk about that. So shout out to Andrew Jones. Hopefully he gets in. His team got destroyed today, but they gave a valiant effort.
how cool would it be to be playing for the Curacao national team for the Little League, and then Andrew Jones is your coach?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, but they get there every year, dang near. I mean,
pretty much.
They're pretty strong. I mean, I guess what their grouping is South America. I would assume.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming out of South America, dang near every year, that's pretty good for them.
So you need 75% to make the Hall of Fame from the Baseball Writers Association of America. Andrew Jones was 41.4% 2 years ago, 58.1%. So that's a pretty good
trending
jump.
up. Mm-hmm.
Here's a question for you, Strick. We'll get into Caleb Williams next segment, but since we're on baseball, I'm going to throw this out there to you. Mike Trout, activated off the injured list, was on track to be one of the greatest players of all time in all sorts of metrics. My favorite baseball player of all time, even though I'm a Royals fan, Mike Trout is my guy through and through for what he can do at the bat, to be able to do it in center field, to lift the Angels to more wins than that franchise has deserved, but not enough on his own. It pains me to say this, but I don't think Mike Trout is going to be in the all-time greats category. I think he's going to fall closer to the Bo Jackson what could have been. He has great numbers, and he did for the first 7-8 years of his career. But if he keeps getting hurt, like if he gets hurt 2 or 3 more times, and that's been the case over the last 3 or 4 years as he's been hurt, I think Mike Trout is sadly closer to Bo Jackson what could have been than an all-time, hey, this guy's one of the best ever.
I mean, dang, you threw that question out to me. I don't have anything right now to refute it. I mean, other than the fact that, he's a great player. We all know that his numbers are phenomenal when he does get an opportunity to play, but the durability aspect of him is kind of hindered some of those. I mean, he could come on late. I mean, it's very possible he could get a second wind and make another charge and have another great run. But, at this point, I think got to be saying he's winding down. I mean, he's over a decade now.
Yeah. First year in the league was 2011.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be tough.
Played 40 games as a rookie, 53 out of the, I think 60 they played in the COVID shortened 2020 season, only 36 with an injury in 2021, 119 last year, and only 82 games so far this year. And maybe I'm selling Mike Trout short. He's been an all-star every year except for 2020 in his career, as well as his rookie year. Won 3 MVPs, finished as runner-up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. A 4th place MVP finish as well. 9-time Silver Slugger. Like, the dude's a stud. I love it. Maybe I'm selling him short, and maybe he's more Sandy Koufax, incredible peak, but didn't last all that long in the bigs. Maybe I'll go Sandy Koufax, more like the position player Sandy Koufax. And it just stinks to see, especially with getting Shohei Ohtani there. Like, I think Shohei Ohtani has passed Mike Trout for the mantle of best player in baseball. Mookie Betts might have as well. I mean, Mookie's gone sneaky under the radar out there in LA, but what Mike Trout did is historical, generational. What Shohei Ohtani's doing has been replicated once in baseball history. It's Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani. Like, to me, Shohei's the best player in baseball right now.
I mean, can you fight it? I mean, right now, I think the Angels made a move. They tried to go with an all-in type of mentality to try to go and get it, and I think they came up short. Unfortunately, it was a miscalculation on their part, because now they're going to probably lose, as you say, the best player in baseball right now, and they're going to lose him for nothing. That's going to be the sad part. But we've looked at the Angels over the years. We've looked at a lot of the secondary LA teams kind of been those stepchild type models where, they're getting stepped on, and the Angels is probably just another version of that, of the Dodgers, as well as the Lakers with the Clippers. So
the Lakers, the Clippers. You can also throw out what's going on in Chicago with the Cubs and the White Sox firing their GM, even to some degree in New York. I mean, the Mets were stamped out by the Yankees for a long time. And we'll tie this in, Strick. I sent this to you a few days ago. The Major League Baseball attendance numbers, they're bouncing back. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the summer. You're seeing that trend even continue. Over the weekend, 37,000 fans, the 10th weekend of 2023 with more than 1.5 million fans, as opposed to just 4 such in the previous 5 in the previous poor season. So you double it in one weekend. The Little League Classic had the most attendance ever. And I think that's a good sign for baseball. But if you look at some of these big market teams, we know what the Yankees are. Don't want to rub it into Rico too bad. We've seen the Mets. They're a dumpster fire as well. The Angels have been terrible since the break. The White Sox are really bad. The Cubs are resurgent to some degree. All these big market teams are struggling, and yet attendance is up. To me, that speaks to the power of baseball in these quote unquote smaller market communities where Baltimore's fans are coming out. Markets like that.
Well, I think you can say that too, but I could also say that look, can you say that the rule changes have helped?
They have to.
I think they have. I think they've made the game a little bit more pleasurable. I think I've said before when we were here, one time I came for a game and just sat out here, and it was amazing that they had 11 runs, but the game was still just over 2 hours. Like normally in an 11-run game where it's like 11-2, normally innings get pretty long, and with that, then it just kind of starts to slog out, and you're looking at a 4-hour game. But I think the clock has made it just very, kept the rhythm going of the game, not a lot of delays, and I like it. I think it's helped baseball. I think it's made those who are in attendance. A lot of people like to go to the games because of just it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more, you feel more into the game as opposed to watching it on TV.
Ambiance.
Yeah, so that's what you get.
I'll throw this one out to you. College football is changing some rules. They're not going to stop the clock on every first down now,
except in the last
2 minutes, and out of bounds will go once it's spotted and ready for play. Do you think that's going to help attendance in college football?
I think it'll spruce the game up a little bit. I think it'll make strategies a little bit more interesting as well. It used to be a strategy for you to be okay to allow somebody to score, and then know that if you have 1:30, that's plenty of time. We can get downfield in 45 seconds. With the way that the system was set up, you stop at first down, that gives you plenty of time to get 20 yards. By the time they set it, you've got plenty of time to get your guys up there, set, drop it, get another quick play. So it's going to change the strategy up a little bit. I think it'll make it pretty interesting and see how the adjustments of the teams and the coaches are.
Going more to that NFL model, because the NFL doesn't stop on that. Do you think that's good because it'll prepare guys for the next level, or do you think that we'll see some teams struggle with it? It's just one extra thing to keep track of.
I mean, I think it's always good to have some form of a mirror of what you're going to be getting into. I think it's you can prepare yourself. There's nothing greater than to have pre-tests before tests that you're going to take when you come down to it, right? I think it's always been better to have that. I also, I've always looked at the NCAA as the hater in the room when you're getting all of the attention and you're the hater and you're just trying to change up the system or change up, So it's worse being the hater as the DJ of the party. And you're seeing everybody having a great time. Everybody's enjoying the whole atmosphere and the vibe. And then the DJ's mad because you're getting the attention. So let me put the attention on me and try to rile up the crowd on my own terms, right? Not, normally a DJ plays to the crowd. They move the crowd. But when you start playing to yourself, you can turn the crowd off. That's kind of what the NCAA was for me, right? And the reason I say that is this. They've always tried to figure out a way to differentiate themselves, to make themselves look like we're autonomous, we're outside, we're not them, we're us. Come see us for who we are. You see what I'm saying? And I think they're losing a lot of that oomph, that fire. And I think everybody's trying to figure out ways to make the game better, make it healthier, make it safer. So, yeah.
You mentioned that pre-test. What are some rules in college basketball that either you would have been changed when you were playing to prepare you for the NBA or need to be changed now?
Oh, I mean, I don't think we didn't have I don't think we had the restricted area.
Yeah, that's a pretty new addition.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that was something that was an adjustment to be made. I mean, it was frustrating to make a drive and a guy's literally standing under the basket, and you could dunk or you could lay it up, and that flow through It's a charge, man. You're under the basket. Like,
you probably got there late.
like, come on. So I think those are some of the things. Obviously, the game has changed tremendously. You're looking at more of a perimeter dominated game as opposed. So the way that they run their sets now and their offenses is very, like, a lot of it is misdirection oriented. We did have misdirection stuff, but we love to play strong side to weak, that type of stuff, inside to out. And so I like the way that the paint opens up a little bit more now than it does back in our day. It was, pretty clogged up. So penetration was a key to making sure that you got good shots. That was the key for our game as opposed to the way it's called now.
He's Eric Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. We're at Haymarket Park waiting for the field to be ready for BP with DP. We're going to switch gears to college football. Caleb Williams made some very interesting comments saying he's not sure if he's going to declare for the 2024 NFL draft just yet. We'll get into those comments and what that could mean as we continue on the block live from Haymarket Park.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Male. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Male.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the local and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We're here on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you live from Haymarket Park. I'd call it downtown Lincoln, but it's Haymarket Park, so I suppose I have to call it in the Haymarket, right across from Memorial Stadium. Watching traffic go by, about to watch some dingers fly here in about an hour or so. Strick, we're going to dive into college football and some comments from a superstar that made some waves today. Caleb Williams, the quarterback of USC, of course, last year's Heisman Trophy winner, reportedly said that he is unsure. He hasn't decided if he'll enter the 2024 draft or not. At first blush, you're like, what is he thinking? Why would you not go when you have the ability to? Caleb Williams' rationale is he might want to hold on to some leverage in case he doesn't like the team or the teams that end up picking, I'm going to say in the top 3, right? He's the presumed number 1 overall pick right now. I think that's kind of tough to bank on.
Are you sure?
We'll get into that. But that's, I think, part of the question, right? He's a quarterback who can make plays with his arm and with his legs. There's a reason he's the presumptive number 1 overall pick. I think that's a little haughty to assume, a little hasty. So I'm going to say teams in the top 3. If he doesn't like teams that are picking in the top 3 that need a quarterback.
Wouldn't it be better to say best quarterback out first? Or second,
best available quarterback. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because here's why I say that, right? I absolutely, in my heart of hearts, thinks that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be absolutely horrible. They're probably going to draft first. You heard it here. I don't know if I'm wrong. Then come back and holler at me in a year. But if I'm right, come back, shout me out on the Sauter Heyman text line. And
402-464-5685.
And let me know, Stricky, you know what? Where's the crystal ball at? Because if they do, then guess who Arizona probably takes?
If Williams,
if Arizona is the first pick in the draft,
they're taking Caleb Williams.
Arizona?
Yeah.
So you're saying they're moving on. They're gonna get Kyler gone.
I maintain they're moving on.
I don't think so. I think they're stuck in some ways because it's a high bonus that they had to pay for him. But that's neither here nor there. You're probably right. It could happen, but I don't think they draft that high on a quarterback. They might take a chance on somebody a little bit down the road, hopefully finding their They're Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
But I would think because you don't have DeAndre Hopkins, you don't have Fitzgerald, you don't have a one. I think you go after Marvin Harrison Jr.
Now that's sneaky.
That's where I would go to get me a one.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to be the guy at that position. And so just by circumstance, I think you're right. I think either him or Drake May, it's going to come down to.
That's just the thing. It's a pretty decent quarterback class this year. I mean, you mentioned Drake May, who's probably the second best available quarterback. You can throw in Bo Nix. We'll see what he does.
You're high on Bo Nix for some
reason. I was more high on Bo Nix after okay, so I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the Ticket airwaves, but to me, before last year, Adrian Martinez, Bo Nix, Spencer Sanders, and Sean Clifford were the same quarterback. They were all the same person. Bo transcended that. To his credit at Oregon last year, he's got to follow it up. But down the line, Riley Leonard from Duke is kind of in that dual threat conversation. I don't know if I buy that yet. He might just be Danny Dimes 2.0. Then moving forward, I mean, next year, you'll have Quinn Ewers, Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy. This year, Sam Howell's in that not Sam Howell, Sam Hartman, rather, the Wake Forest to Notre Dame transfer. So there's definitely competition at the top of this draft. I think there'd be competition at the top of next year's draft, but maybe not quite as much. But it's the leverage part that I want to touch on, Strick.
Okay.
Because it seems dumb to turn down an NFL contract, to jump into it, get that life-changing money 1 year earlier. But you made a good point as we were talking about this off air. There's life-changing money available in college now.
I'm still working on how to pronounce his name. Ilya Malova.
Nico from Tennessee. Mm-hmm.
The man is been offered up to $8 million to stay in the environment. Now, look.
And he ain't in LA.
I mean, what they offered Jordan Addison alone, if you get that type of NIL deal in house, car, money, lifestyle, you're the guy without you got pressure, but you don't have that NFL pressure.
No.
Right? And here's the thing. There's a thing out there in the NFL called you go for your career to die type of team. If I'm a quarterback, I'd be eyeing that. I wouldn't want to go to a Cleveland Browns.
No.
I wouldn't even want to go to a Jacksonville. I wouldn't want to go to an Atlanta right now. You know what I mean? There's certain places out there that I wouldn't want to go. Now,
all the teams you want to go to aren't in the range to pick you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now, who is emerging in that position as of late that we can put in the Caleb Williams? I don't want to go there, i.e. Kobe Bryant, i.e. LaMelo Ball, i.e. guys that are like, hey, I don't want to go play there. If you draft me, I ain't coming.
To me, it's the closest thing we have to Eli Manning in 2004. Didn't want to play in San Diego, forced his way to a trade. Where are you going with that, though?
See, what I'm saying is, we know who the go to dies are.
We do,
right? Who is now emerging in that firm that weren't necessarily there? Like, for example, let me throw this out to you. Is the Las Vegas Raiders one now, or are they? You know what I'm saying? You understand where I'm going?
I do. Yeah, Indy, I think, is creeping its way into that conversation. Indianapolis, but they just drafted their quarterback. Hypothetically, Vegas, I think, has always kind of been on there. I don't think Vegas has treated its quarterbacks the best. I don't know if I fully trust that ownership group either. The Rams, I don't know. They spent so much on that Super Bowl. McVay's got to prove it wasn't a fluke. I know they had some injuries last year. I'm a little worried about the Rams.
Detroit, as we know, Detroit's one.
Yeah, Detroit's one. Depending on how you feel about the Commanders, they might be one.
Interesting.
The Jets post Aaron Rodgers, we'll have to see if they can lift out of that.
Yeah.
New England without Belichick scares me.
Ooh.
You know, because he's not going to be around forever. I mean, I'm sure he has another 3-4 years, but if you're quarterback down the line,
is that like a Duke situation? Like when she said, you know what I mean? Like the pressure that mounts on that next person that takes over that New England job is going to be just
massive.
Is it? Do you think it stays internal?
I could see them going a lot of different ways. Belichick obviously has a pretty good coaching tree, but we've also seen plenty of Belichick disciples not succeed as head coaches. Part of that is the Giants taking Joe Judge from special teams coordinator, jumping him right to head coach. That didn't do anyone any favors. But I think the Patriots to Duke comparison is good. The Patriots to Alabama post Saban, I think is definitely in that conversation as well, where there are plenty of ways the Patriots can go, but which one's the right one? Because they're not going to have Belichick level success again. The guy after the guy has that level of success.
Yeah, because you won the lottery with Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real about it.
Is it more manageable, though, for the next guy because the Patriots have struggled these last few years?
I would say it is, because at some point in time that lowers the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Once the only place I think that we have delusional expectation drops is Nebraska. like the expectation should have dropped a few years ago now. I mean, and start to work back up to that. But once the expectation kind of lowers, I think it bodes better for a new coach that's coming in and gives them an opportunity to kind of start their own cycle of their legacy.
Absolutely. So this just flashed to the high post in my mind. Let's say you're a team with a quarterback need in this coming draft.
Yeah.
Is Drake May good enough that you're willing to take him and not risk Caleb Williams not signing or going back to school? Or do you hold out, tank again next year, and try to get Caleb Williams?
My question to you is this. Which player in the NFL right now that you think Caleb Williams, I have an idea in my mind, but I want to hear yours. Which player in the NFL right now do you think Caleb Williams is most similar to?
Kyler Murray with a better arm.
I think Dak Prescott with better decision.
Okay.
With a little bit better decision making.
Caleb's not huge though.
No, I'm just saying stylistically.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that.
So to me, I could see there's some worry potentially, because if you're looking eye test stylistically, you're looking at a range, you're looking at probably some previous quarterbacks, you're kind of getting an idea of maybe the style of your team, the style that person presents and fits into, and then you're trying to figure out, can we win with that style?
Right.
So that's where I think it's gonna come to a head with when teams are looking at it. They're gonna have to figure it out, because I would venture to say that Dak is not a traditional drop back style of quarterback.
He's not. You're correct.
So it depends on your team. It depends on your weapons.
Can you win with Dak? Can the Cowboys win with Dak?
I don't think so. I think they're in trouble. I really do. I think they're in trouble.
If the Eagles were in a different division, would you trust them, or is it the Eagles standing in their way that worries you?
We got music going on in the background here. Listen, I think the Commanders are dangerous.
Ooh, you think they're coming?
I think they're dangerous. I think Bieniemy is on one. You can tell he's culture shifting. What's going on down there?
Big time.
You saw the adversity that he had to face, that he had to deal with. Okay, he handled it. Kind of passed through on the news cycles. And I think when you listen to some of the stories out of Rivera and some of the other guys and out of the camp, they're basically saying that they have a better understanding now of him and who he is and his style and what he wants and what he expects. I think if they can get on one page and on one accord, I think they'll be okay. And I think Bieniemy is off to make a name and of himself outside, obviously, of what was going on in Kansas City.
Right. And that's something Jay's talked about on Old School a little bit, especially as it relates to Kellen Moore, the old OC for the Cowboys, is that he was out to make a name for himself. Eric Bieniemy has made plenty of a name. We know what he can do. We know his resume. But it makes sense that now that he's out of that ecosystem, that he wants to put his own stamp on his career and, kind of stop being viewed in that light.
Yeah.
The danger is we haven't seen Eric Bieniemy outside of that ecosystem in a long time. Will it be about the team calling plays in the moment, or will it be, hey, look at this, I got this? I think the temptation in the moment is, hey, look at me, look what I'm calling, when really managing the game the best you can is the best thing for your reputation.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think what's going to rein that part of it in, that second part of it in, is the depth and the hardness of the division.
Sure.
You can't go in there playing games. Giants are still coming back pretty strong. I mean, they're pretty settled now. They're going to be their second year under their new staff and regime. So you've got the Cowboys who are they're going to be there just because, and then what, CD Lamb and that crew is gotten better. Now there's going to be a full year on the Pollard. And now they've got some stability there. Still on the offensive line is still pretty solid.
It is.
They've worked things out with Martin. Mm-hmm. So,
and then you got the defending NFC champion,
and that's what they do. Mm-hmm. I mean, they get after you. Michael Parsons, that whole crew on the other side, Diggs on the outside. I mean, they're solid. Van Der Esch and that group on the inside. So they're going to be solid. And the Commanders were right there. So you've got them, Philly, Dallas, and the Giants. I think that's what's going to rein in Bieniemy and kind of keep him from stepping into that Kellen Moore kind of frame of mind.
This is On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you, as we are every day from 2 to 4, every weekday, I should say. We're not on weekends, but we are awaiting BP with DP out here at Haymarket Park. If you're listening to us, you are either on the app, which is for your phone. It is free. It is simple to download. It is the most simple, straightforward way to listen to us, or you're watching via the stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, all up and running for you, thanks to our friends at Sartor Heyman Jewelers for getting that put together. You're also watching our Twitch broadcast on Allo Channel 951. Appreciate them and their fiber internet. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll start moving in an NBA direction. A couple things I want Strick's thoughts on. Which will happen first, another Steph or another Magic? We'll get into that and plenty more as we continue on the block.
Homes has really expanded and taken off in the last 5 years.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. You can select your options. We give you a lot of choices. By selecting certain floor plans, they're just easier to build. And you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rug. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
If you have concerns about your drinking water, just call Bryant. If your water doesn't look right, smell right, or taste right, Bryant can help. If your water has high levels of iron, Bryant can help. If you're tired of foggy dishes and dingy clothes, Bryant can help. Whatever your home water needs are, Bryant is here with a solution to fit your needs. Be sure about your water. Just call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop feed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rounding out hour one of On the Block here from Haymarket Park, Austin Norman and Eric Strickland are with you. I'm going to get into some NBA stuff here, a short NBA segment before we delve into some bigger, deeper thoughts. Strick, the first thing that popped across my feed last night when I was starting to prep for today was a little clip from Podcast P. So Paul George does a podcast, and he had Klay Thompson on. I love me some Paul George. I love me some Klay Thompson. The first thing that they talked about that caught my ear was Klay Thompson dealt with injuries the last couple of years, says it's all worth it. He would go through it again. I mean, to have 4 championships, still going for number 5, like he said. And Paul George snaps his leg in half and says he doesn't have crap to show for it. And he's kind of almost sounded a little bitter. Like, I put my body on the line for this long, nothing to do. And Klay gives him the out of, okay, well, you're going against LeBron and all that. But Klay had to go against LeBron. The difference was Klay had a super team. Paul George had himself in a year, Roy Hibbert, Lane Stevenson.
And he had a Roy Hibbert in the kind of changing of the center era.
Mm-hmm.
So it was stylistically, it still wasn't, it was kind of teetering away from it. And he just got caught in the middle of it. And that was ugly what happened to his leg.
Kevin Ware and Paul George, the leg stuff.
Oh, I still can't. Even the Gordon. Was it Gordon that?
Well, Livingston almost lost his leg.
Just I think about it, and even when I was playing, man, I think about just all the times that you leap and you jump, and sometimes people fall, and how I was able to go unscathed. I'm just so grateful because there's so many opportunities for injuries. Now my tailbone was for taking all these doggone charges.
Too good a team player, Strick. Too good.
And but yeah, I mean, reaching your hand, sticking in there. You know, I remember one time Shaq had the ball in the post, and it was my job to dig. And so I'm digging in on Shaq, and Shaq does what he does. He's gonna, take his 2, and he does that raw spin, that high elbow,
shoulder high, yeah.
And he turns, but it's still kind of down. And I literally put hand to ball.
Smack.
And he took my whole hand with him. Like, that could have been a whole different situation. Fingers, thumb, all kinds of stuff could have went out of place when Big Diesel comes charging towards the middle.
Right. That, I mean, Shaq could probably just do like that and flick me away. But the other thing you brought up based on that clip was the timing, right? I'm not going to say the Warriors had it easy. I mean, they built a really good team, but going against LeBron every year, not necessarily easy. Paul George might have won a title in the early 2010s without LeBron. Probably not, but might have gone to the finals. Even with the Clippers, I mean, the last couple of years, there hasn't been a strong, huge favorite out west. He's gotten hurt. Kawhi's gotten hurt. They put that team together. It's just kind of been maybe the right place, but wrong place, wrong time.
We talked about something yesterday. And one of the things we talked about was consistency, staying together with coaches, just that continuity that comes with that. I have to ask myself the question and look at the freaking Golden State Warriors and wonder how the heck were they able to do it the way that they've done it? How is Iguodala, Steph,
Dre,
and Clay still together all these years and still running like that in itself? The only addition was the only addition was that short stint with but that was an ad. They still were there and they're still there. There's not that type of loyalty nor continuity, that type of stability. Yes, they've had their ups and downs. A lot of it was due to injuries and so forth and so on. But when they're together, they're a tough bunch.
And I think the loyalty and continuity thing can be two sides of the same conversation. I don't think the loyalty's there, and that makes it harder to build continuity. But what we've seen over the last few years, Strick, is we've had these conversations about Draymond and about Clay. I mean, they're keeping Steph. Steph's the guy. He's the heartbeat of that franchise. But the NBA's new rules have made it harder to keep teams like that together, even if guys want to stay.
Yes. And I think Steph may be it. I think it's maybe Steph and potentially Luka. But I think something in my heart is going to tell me that the Mavs are going to drop the ball with that one. Somehow, some way, that they're not going to put the team together. I'm thinking this experience is going to tell you whether or not Luka Doncic is going to remain. I think I think Steph in that group may be one of the last ones, because I think after these next contracts, that's going to be the last for Dre. He's either going to go somewhere else or something. I don't think they're going to retain him. They may bring him back to have him retire there.
Yeah.
If he still wants to play. I think that Luka may be the next potential one. Jokic, potentially Murray. I'd say more Jokic than Murray.
Giannis?
I think Giannis is going to break camp if they don't put a team together to make a run in the East. I think this last contract is going to tell whether or not Giannis is going to move, because I think Giannis is not going to be able to draw anybody to Milwaukee.
No.
That's not going to happen. But he'll be able to go to somebody and make it happen. And where is that going to be? That's going to be interesting. I would love to see him go to New York and get with like Jalen Brunson and make a run with that crew. Even if you have to do it with Randall, trade Barrett, get Giannis, and then work around them too. Like that would be a dope move. Like if I'm Giannis, you're going to get to the big market. You're going to have a great point guard,
right? A
scoring point guard who can play D. Whereas you have that with Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday is a defer.
He's D first.
He's D first. So I would like that match, but yeah, that's one of the other ones that I would see. I don't see anybody else in the league that I'd say, maybe Wemby if he performs. We'll see. That's still we'll see.
Definitely stuff to monitor. You brought up Steph. You brought up Luka. That's where I want to start the second hour of On the Block. Nick Wright says there's going to be another Steph before there's another Magic. Is that true? I want Strick's thoughts on that. Who are guys that have come close to replicating those two guys? What's the pathway to being those types of players? We'll get into that and plenty more as we continue On the Block here from Haymarket Park.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, Nebraska National Guard, 55th Wing, and the Lincoln Airport Authority presents the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, featuring the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, the F-16 Viper demo team, F-35, and the Air Force Wings of Blue. Experience a spectacle that your family will remember forever. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show, Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th at Lincoln Air Park. Parking and admission are free. Learn more at lincolnairshow.com.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal cars come with both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
It's less than 1 month until the Guardians of Freedom Air Show comes to Lincoln's Air Park on August 26th and 27th. The show can't happen without the efforts of volunteers, and they need your help. This is a great opportunity to raise money for civic clubs, student organizations, club sports, and others who want to be close to the high-flying action. For more details on how to volunteer at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, visit LincolnAirShow.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415. Or online at ambitionelectric.com.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HandHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. This is hour 2 of On the Block, live at Haymarket Park in the Haymarket in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're on the stream only right now. The Kansas City Royals and the Oakland Athletics are participating in a veritable clash with the Titans or something like that. No score, bottom of the second on the radio waves, but you're on the app or you're on the stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951, all up and rolling for you. Thanks to Allo for giving us our own TV channel and to Sartor Heyman Jewelers for providing the video streams. I'm Austin Norman. He is Eric Strickland, and you should get yourself to Mary Ellen Food for the Soul.
Get out there. Let Charles know they're open today. Sweet Southern Heat is one of the things that I will be tapping in on again really soon. I hate that I got to go out of town. I actually might just shoot up there and grab me a one on the way heading out back to Omaha.
Ooh, okay.
I might.
Would you eat it on the way, or do you wait till you can sit down?
I gotta wait till I sit down and just gotta wait on that. Yeah,
makes sense to me.
Makes sense, bro.
402-464-5685. That's the Sartor Heyman text line number, as well as the Honda of Lincoln hotline. If you've got any thoughts about anything that we're talking about here on the show, let us know, or drop a comment if you're watching via the stream. We'll see it and we'll get to it. We're going to turn our attention back to the NBA here, Strick. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the NBA, even though it's the off season. The first thing I want to get into is Nick Wright's comments. He was on his show, First Things First. He's going back and forth with Chris Broussard. Nick Wright, to boil down his comments, said, we'll see another Steph Curry before we see another Magic Johnson. I'll leave it at that. What do you make of that comment?
Well, I think there was a period. I think we go through cycles of period, right? Sure. We know that the post-man game went out the window. Then everybody was looking for stretch guys. You thought unicorns were going to be Porzingis and the likes of them, right? Mm-hmm. During that era, that Magic Johnson era transformation, you started to see a lot of bigger guards popping out. I think the closest thing I've ever seen probably to him was Penny Hardaway.
Okay.
Anthony Hardaway, skill-wise, shooting-wise, post-wise, penetration-wise, vision-wise, all of that stuff probably matched up to Magic. Well with Magic. If he doesn't get injured, you're probably looking at Penny in a whole different light.
Penny had a little more prop than Magic, maybe?
Yeah, he was a problem. Penny was a problem. Now, in this new era, I would say maybe the closest you're looking at is Luka Doncic.
In that convo.
Style-wise, pace.
Ben Simmons was supposed to be.
Yeah, but probably passing wise in his earlier heyday. Mm-hmm. But again, it goes back with Ben Simmons to what Kobe had basically said. Kobe was doing an interview in a group, speaking to a large group, and he basically was told that Ben Simmons needs to work on areas of his game, and that main area of that was shooting. He needs to expand the jump shot. If you don't do that, his career is going to die. And that's the thing you must understand. It doesn't matter how dominated you are. That's the problem. You start dominating from such a young age that you think that this is going to remain, but everything starts to keep up with you. Scouting reports get better and better. Players get bigger, faster, stronger. And once they figure you out, game plans begin to structure themselves around your weaknesses. So if you don't enhance or get better in your weaknesses, it's going to be a problem.
I'm glad you brought up those guys, because as I was thinking through some, potential comps for Magic, don't laugh at me. Let me just get through just the options that we're working with. I think Luka's in that conversation, not quite as tall, maybe not quite as explosive as Magic was, but similar play style. Scotty Barnes doesn't handle the ball enough. I don't think he's a primary option type of guy. Cade Cunningham isn't tall enough, not athletic enough. We just talked about Ben Simmons in that conversation. Magic being 6'9" is huge. A traditional power forward size type of guy with that kind of handle, that's hard to come across.
They thought Amani Bates was going to be it,
right?
But
not yet.
I don't think he's there yet.
Passing enough for it. Which brings us to the Steph part of this conversation. Magic changed the game with his ball handling and his passing. I wasn't around for it. I was around for Steph. I can speak more on that a little bit, just having witnessed it from afar. Steph broke basketball's geometry in a similar but different way to what Magic did. But more guys are Steph size than Magic size. More guys it's going to be easier to work to Steph's handle than to Magic's vision and Magic's size. I think we have guys that are similar-ish to Steph already. I mean, Dame Lillard and Steph aren't the same player. You can see some similarities. Darius Garland out in Cleveland has a little bit of Steph in him. I think Nick Wright is correct in saying that we see another Steph before we see another Magic.
Yeah, it's by the odds, by the numbers. One of the things they used to always say to us is you can always find another one of you. What's going to differentiate you from the other guy? Let me say that again. They're always able to find another you, size-wise, your range, but what's going to differentiate you from the other guys?
Right.
That's why you must take a niche. For me, it was defense. Defense was the thing that was being defense and just being able to knock down an open shot when it's offered to you. Some guys is passing. Some guys, can do it all. Your Steve Nash types. Then you have your Steph types that are and your Iverson types that they're just exceptionally gifted in certain ways. So I think that, man, when you look at it, I think you're probably by numbers, by the odds of it, and by the style of the game now, you're going to probably find a Steph before you find a Magic.
It's kind of funny to think about comparing Steph and Magic because they're listed at the same position as point guards. They are not playing the same way. They are not playing the same game. That was part of this debate that Nick Wright was having too, is who's the best point guard of all time? Is it between Magic and Steph? Do you throw a John Stockton in there? Chris Paul doesn't have a ring. Is he Dan Marino in this conversation? That sort of thing. Magic might be the best passing point guard. Steph might be the best scoring point guard. It's hard for me to put one above the other because they're so different.
And so for me, I would say best shooting, but still in that scoring category, I don't think anyone at the size did it like Allen Iverson.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
The way he did it at the size and in a more physical time of the game, for his size. So that's where I would have a little bit of pause, but yeah, I think you can't question his shooting. I think the closest to shooting, you have to put him in a shooting guard range where maybe you get to Ray Allen, maybe.
Right.
That just had that quick release, pure stroke. If you're not there on catch, you're too late. There's certain guys that were like that, and Ray Allen was probably one of those.
It's amazing Ray Allen had the career he did after you jammed on him.
Yeah. I sure wish I could find that VHS tape. I promise I'd put that thing all on. I would convert it and put it on a disc, and I'd put that thing all over the web and let Alan know. Don't forget about this one, big fella.
You can't forget about it. This just popped into my head too as we look at maybe comps for Magic. How similar are LeBron and Magic?
Yeah, obviously LeBron is probably more super athletic than
little thicker
Magic.
too.
I think passing wise, he's comparable. I still think Magic's style and vision was probably a little bit, just not much. I mean, I think LeBron's got great vision. He sees the floor in the game pretty well. I think Magic they're similar in the fact that, well, I would say even give a little bit more deference to Magic, and that Magic is I'm getting to a point. I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna see what you're gonna do and what my guys are gonna do. Like I'm getting to this point, or I'm getting to this spot, or I see it happening before it happens, and I'm dropping it at a spot where I know it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think LeBron has a little bit more play in his game. Just a little bit. He plays a little bit more with the ball. As opposed to Magic. Magic was kind of like 1-2 counter, and I'm shooting a hook, or I'm passing, or you know what I'm saying? He's pretty simple.
LeBron, very brute force, I think, too.
Yeah.
Not afraid to lower that shoulder. Obviously, Magic did that, played in
a more
physical
finesse style too.
Right.
Magic would slip off of you. You know, he's a little bit more crafty.
I didn't want to say magician or sleight of hand. I think finesse also sells the era short a little bit, but I think crafty, where he finds those unique angles, gets out on the break a little bit more, right? LeBron is a control freak. We've seen that, where he has those highlight dunks in transition, but LeBron doesn't like to run. The Showtime Lakers pushed. LeBron likes to, take the air out of it, get all the eyes on him, and then whip that cross-court pass.
Yeah.
Another guy that I think doesn't fit in either of these conversations, but that we need to talk about, kind of dominating the airspace recently, is James Harden. Recently fined $100,000 for the comments he made about Daryl Morey, calling him a liar. To me, Strick, this is the NBA taking a stance, right? Because what James Harden is doing is completely tanking Philadelphia's leverage in this situation. And the NBA said, you can't be doing that.
Oh, yeah. I don't really have an answer for that other than the fact that it's good. I think I say it that I remembered we talked about the NBA when they were going through getting close to the CBA and whether or not we're going to have a lockout, why they weren't going to have any play stoppage because of the fact that they couldn't afford it. And I said that they needed to get their voice back. The players had way too much leverage, and the owners in some form or fashion. Otherwise, it's going to get way out of line, out of place. Contracts really aren't going to be contracts. It's not going to matter.
Right.
You're going to get into that thing, and so I think that the NBA may be trying to take back a little bit more of that power and put it more back into their hands, as opposed to allowing people to just go roughshod and run wild and buck wild and do whatever they want to do.
Elsewhere in Philly, Joel Embiid is rumored to be pondering asking out, which would completely ruin Philly. You might see another, trust the process style of Sixers, depending on what they get back for him. Crossword comparison here. Joel Embiid won the MVP this year, deserved or not. He did win it. Jonathan Taylor hasn't won an MVP. Are Joel Embiid and Jonathan Taylor in similar situations?
I would say, you're locked into a contract. It is a contract. You have a situation where the NBA now is trying to take back power. What leverage do you really have? I think a lot of the team's leverage of getting back those huge opportunities, I think that's ran out. I think with the Gobert and all that, when all those top deals were coming out, I think people looked at them and was like, wait a minute. Like, if we stay in this zone, it's going to be trouble. So they started kind of reining that back. You didn't see it happen like for Donovan Mitchell, and you didn't see that they were getting what they were getting in those types of deals. And I think that's past. So I don't think they're going to get with new, they got a, new CBA and the restrictions that are put out there now. I just don't think they're going to get it. I don't think they're going to get there.
The other thing that I think is holding them back from that as well is Joel Embiid's been a train wreck in the playoffs.
Oh, gosh,
from his MVP level. Well, yeah, they've both been bad, and they, that I think works together. Joel Embiid, we've seen, can be a great regular season player. But if you're acquiring Joel Embiid, it's not to have a great regular season.
Yeah.
It's to get home court advantage. It's to make it to the conference finals and the finals and beyond. Joel Embiid hasn't proven he's able to do that yet. So even if you could hypothetically get a haul from a contender looking to add that one piece to maybe get him over the top, that contender is going to be a little hesitant to do that deal just because of the playoff shortcomings. And that's where I think Joel Embiid's style of play is in major contrast with where the NBA is going.
Okay, so let me throw that at you then. What 3 teams could you see Joel Embiid fitting if it was all things, barring no hindrances on them getting back what they want, everything is in place and in order. If they can make that happen, where would you see a good fit for him?
Basketball-wise, I think he would fit in...
Wait, first of all, let's start with East or West East Conference or West Conference?
The first team that came to mind in the East was Detroit. They're paying a lot of centers. If they could consolidate that, have Cade, have Jaden Ivey. I get Jaden Ivey out in transition more than Joel would like to be. I think Cade's more in the
They
LeBron
got a pretty
camp.
good little young team.
Slow
Jaden
it down.
Duren. They got a pretty good young team.
Right. If they can get, I
think it hurts them.
It does. I think so. But I think that's the type of star they might be willing to go all in on. When you think back to the new Bad Boys, how big, strong, physical they were, I think Detroit would fall for it, even if it doesn't raise their ceiling as much as they think it would.
Okay.
You're going to throw the Warriors into those discussions. He doesn't fit with Kerr, though. Would Minnesota trade Towns for Joel?
I would say here's what I would say. I don't know about Minnesota. I don't think that would work. But I say possibly Phoenix. Phoenix has been in need. Phoenix has been in need of a dominant front court force to complement. He's not that. I think that's what's hindered them. It showed and proved in, I think, if you're trying to match up and get into the Jokic zone, you got to figure out somebody like that who can handle him in that manner.
Relatively speaking.
And I think with their complementary of perimeter game, that inside out opportunity, the pick and pop situations, you've got now Kevin Durant possibly can play the 3 and the 4. I mean, you've got a lot of versatile ways of playing. So I would have said maybe Phoenix. And I don't think it works in Dallas with Luka and Kyrie.
No.
Do you go with a Twin Tower situation? I think Houston, but I don't think Joel would go for that. I think it would be good to have that kind of stability from the inside out for that Houston team that's still young, trying to find their way. I think Ime would work it out and figure out how to make that thing work.
Whose team is Phoenix?
I mean, it's Booker's team. I mean, people would say it's Kevin Durant's, but we'll see this year. I think this year is going to tell it. I mean, it's tough for somebody to come in and establish that alpha, mentality on the team. And he's getting kind of older. I don't think Kevin even wants to be the head, to be honest.
We've talked about this a little bit. Kevin Durant is a 1B type of guy.
Yeah.
He is not an alpha. And that's okay. Just admit it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. This has to be Booker's team. He has to be the guy. And if your second option is Kevin Durant, and if your third option is Bradley Beal in a complementary role, that's huge. The issue will come if Devin Booker gets banged up, has to sit, it becomes Kevin Durant's team, and they fall short. Because then that goes on KD's narrative, when I don't think that's what KD signed up for.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of what we're looking at there. As I look across the landscape of it, I still think the West is going to be very dominant. I think you've got to look, if you're going to look out east, you've always got to consider if they can get healthy, Boston, they're not going to have as much depth that they're used to having, but you still got to look at Boston. I think Philly is just they're running themselves out of the mix of it with that type of disarray they got going on over there. Look out for Cleveland.
Cleveland coming.
They play great D. They've got great complement. They understand each other and their roles. I like them. I'm still not sold on Tyrese Halliburton and what they got going on in Indy, but I do like Detroit, man. I'd like keep your eyes on that young Detroit team. I think they can make some noise down there. Obviously, Miami will probably. I think Miami's in a better position if they're able to land Damian Lillard. I still think they're stagnant without him.
Right. Question for you, Strick, from the YouTube chat. Eric Miller watching on YouTube. Appreciate it, Eric. On the point guard debate, where does white chocolate, Jason Williams, factor into that discussion?
Into the point guard discussion?
Yeah.
Jason Williams is probably as close as we've had with Pistol Pete Maravich.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? Just played free, easy. Can't say it's overly efficient, but it's very entertaining, to watch. I think his best year of just really helping and complimenting down in Miami when they won the championship. But his Sacramento years I thought was phenomenal. But it looked as if Bibby came in and just gave him that solidarity with Bobby Jackson, with that combo. The style, it was fun to watch. It was fun to observe. I think there were some liability things on the defensive side of things, but other
he wasn't
than that,
big.
Nah. Other than that, Jason was fun, man. He was fun to watch. He had some tricks, and I happened to come across a couple videos and some stuff he did to us in Dallas. A couple of those highlight videos was on us, and I always tell people, I said, I'm glad I'm just not. Anytime somebody is acting up, sometimes I'm just glad I'm not in the picture, even though I could have been. And I told you about that one with Al Harrington.
Oh yeah,
when Al Harrington pushed me out the way. I was like, I'm so glad you did. I didn't want to take that eyeball sandwich.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Al.
you looking out.
Appreciate you getting me out the way.
He's Eric Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. This is On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're out here. Field's getting ready. It's getting close. They're watering it. It is drying out very quickly. It is hot as heck. Hopefully my bat's as hot as the weather. We'll see about that here in just a little bit. We'll continue On the Block next.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the local and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
The Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're here on the block at Haymarket Park. Austin Norman, Eric Frickle, Nick Sander hanging out in the background. Not sure who the old school crew is today. Kind of thought they'd be here by now, but we'll wait and see. If you are stuck with Strick and I for 4 hours, good luck. Hold on to your butts. The Royals have a 1-0 lead over the A's at last check. They are through 3 innings. Dairon Blanco, the 30-year-old rookie, hits his first major league home run, a solo shot. So
what did you say? The what?
30-year-old rookie.
That's why I didn't go, and that's why I said, look, I said myself, I said, listen, go and see what this basketball thing's going to do. If it doesn't work out, you can come back because you can be a 30-year-old rookie.
Yes, you. Quad A, Dairon Blanco, getting the job done for the Royals.
Damn, that's a long time.
To grind at the minor league level, yeah. It makes me wonder if the payoff is worth it. Like, I would assume so, like you're a Major League Baseball player, but man, to probably be drafted. I mean, if he was a college guy, I don't remember how he came up. If he's a college guy, he's getting drafted at 22. If he's an international guy, you're bouncing around for
16.
Yeah, 14, 15 years, Stricky.
My gosh.
That's half your life.
Edgar Renteria was literally 15 going on 16 when he first joined the Marlins.
Wow.
But then he won a championship with him, and that pissed me off.
Edgar Renteria
been there with them. It's like I always freaking miss the championships.
Stricky was so close.
I went out for the Husker football team at Memorial Stadium. I'm out there doing my thing. And guess what?
Yes, I
don't play, and they freaking win a natty.
And then they do it again.
And they did it again without you.
And then again.
So the Marlins did it. The freaking Huskers did it.
Nick's got
Mavs freaking
Mavs
did it. Man, let me get out of here.
Tough being Stricky. Tough life.
He started playing Cuban ball in 2012.
2012.
Yeah, so that's a decade plus. Thanks to Nick for that research. He played in, Dairon Blanca, that is, played in Cuba starting in 2012.
Good.
So wait 11 years for your debut.
My man. Well, look, shout out to him. Congratulations.
Yeah, good stuff. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Royals on the radio airwaves. You're watching us on the stream, brought to you by Starter Heyman Jewelers. Strick, let's get into this. Trey Lance named not QB1 in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Not QB2 either.
Oof.
Sam Darnold listed as Brock Purdy's backup for this coming season in San Francisco.
Guess what that means?
See ya.
Sayonara. Arrivederci.
Josh Johnson's cheaper.
Ciao, Bella. Bye-bye, basically.
What a ride it's been for Trey Lance.
Man.
He hasn't really gotten that career off the ground between the injuries and other situations going on out there in San Francisco. They
Do you
traded
feel
up
for
to
him,
get.
though?
Oh, I definitely feel for him. That's a guy coming out of North Dakota State who put it on tape against FCS teams. But to me, he was a little bit of an underrated comp for Anthony Richardson. Different level, but didn't have a whole lot of starting experience in the FCS. He takes over the North Dakota State machine, does his thing there in that shortened spring season, and still declares for the draft. Anthony Richardson, just a couple handfuls of starts at Florida. It's similar but different. I do feel for Trey Lance. The expectations for him were, I don't know if sky high is necessarily right, but with that mobility, that athleticism in that Kyle Shanahan type of system, you can see what they were going for. But I don't know if it was a mental thing, just a physical thing that never came together. But think
Is
about
he Malik Willis?
Ooh.
Are they the same?
I think they're similar. I
They're
think
very
onto something.
similar, right?
I'd say two things. Number one, did San Francisco do right by him? Did they do everything they could to make him succeed?
I think so.
Okay. So that leads me then to number two. Think about how we've talked about Sam Darnold over the last handful of years.
They were
Across his
killing
time
Sam
with the
Darnold.
Jets and the
Yes.
Panthers. If Trey Lance got beat out for the
That's
QB2
not a
job
good
by
look.
that guy,
not a
I
good
don't
look.
think that's a great sign.
It's not a great look. But even worse than that, you bet your money as a Titan. You've been really trying to get rid of Ryan Tannehill for probably the
Really
last 3
trying.
years now.
Mhm.
3 years at least, minimum. And your boy Will Levis is third on the depth chart there.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody thought Will Levis should have went before Bryce and CJ, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tannehill, I mean, yes, he's solid, but he's not really that. You're supposed to be the guy with the big arm. And Malik Willis, the one that they're really kind of off of, he beat you. So that's another scenario where you're kind of like fumbling your fingers, tripping out. I'm going to throw this one to you. What's your thought about your boy? What's your thought about your boy,
My boy.
Baker Mayfield landing the top spot down there in Tampa Bay?
I think it makes sense. I think that's the way we were trending. Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield are two very different quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield isn't going to win a Super Bowl. I feel confident saying that.
Yeah.
Can he win the NFC South? It's on the table. New Orleans defense, I think, is good if Michael Thomas is healthy when Kamara gets back. I still think I like the Saints more. Atlanta's a year away at this point, and I'm fascinated by Carolina. I really am. I think that Frank Reich's a good coach to get them back on the right track. I'm a big, Bryce Young fan. I think he's going to be fantastic for them eventually. Solid young defense out there too. The division's not great. I think it's a half step up from the AFC South at least. Baker's fine as a stopgap option. I mean, would you rather have Baker or Jameis back?
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably take Jameis, but you could do worse than Baker.
Yeah, I still think Jameis he throws a really good long ball, but obviously that's not something that's going to always be the case. I think he struggles with, getting off of his read sometimes into, throwing with touch and different things in the middle, throwing it over linebackers.
Right.
This is it. I think you got to say this is it for Baker. This is what fourth run now.
Well, what do you mean by it?
I mean,
I think Baker's last chance as a starter.
As a starter, that's
Baker,
the way I'm talking
Baker can bounce around as a backup.
Yeah. I think as a starter, I think he's got to make this one work if he's gonna, make it happen.
I think Baker is in a similar boat to what Sam Darnold's going to be in. Really high draft choices. I mean, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield's issues are are different. I think Baker's had more success than Sam Darnold has at the NFL level, so I don't want to 100% lump them together. But I think those are both guys that were taken highly, that had chances a couple different places, never proved they could be the starter, on a long-term consistent basis. And there's nothing wrong with, going the Chase Daniel, Chad Henne route of carving out a long career as a backup.
Yeah.
Be a good teammate, be in meetings, be present, do your job, right? Fill your role. Baker coming out of college, I don't think could have done that. Think about just how big that chip on his shoulder was. And he told you about it. Yeah. That doesn't fly as a backup quarterback.
No. Yeah. You hope that he's able to get it done. I mean, a lot of it was sad what happened with Cleveland, because he actually gave what he had and loved the city, and then it just didn't work out for him. Who's your biggest person to watch as far as potential disappointment and a downfall? Like, for example, would you say is it like a Dak Prescott? Is it like a Deshaun Watson? Is it Kyler Murray? Who's that guy that you're looking at this year and saying, yo, you need to show improve this year?
I think Dak is in kind of Kirk Cousins territory where he'll put up the numbers. You can do a lot worse than him, but you're always going to be looking to do better. Deshaun Watson is an interesting one. I think this is a big prove it year for him. Obviously with off the field stuff, but even on the field. I'm going to take Jay's word for it, saying he got better by the end of the year, but you still have to knock that rust off. I don't know if Deshaun Watson will ever throw for 4,500 yards again like he did in Houston, but I think there's still a good NFL quarterback in there. I think this is a prove it year for Aaron Rodgers just because of how few he has left, right? He doesn't have time to wait around. I think this year and next year are the window for him and the Jets, so a different kind of prove it. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is in that boat. Okay, you took your team to the playoffs. You won the division last year. Do it again. Prove it wasn't a fluke. Jacksonville has never had that success on a sustained basis. So Trevor Lawrence to me is a guy that has to prove that he was worthy of his draft selection.
Yeah.
I would go there. Justin Herbert just got paid. I think he's in that conversation.
Okay.
Can you finally elevate your franchise? Jalen Hurts getting that bag as well. I
don't think he's there though.
I'm less worried about him, but you got to prove you can do it again at some point. You have the supporting cast around you, so don't be the reason they, fail. So
is it like a Matthew Stafford or is no
Stafford's prove it back from injury? I think that's a good one.
Okay.
Who has more of a prove it, Derek Carr or Jimmy G?
I'd probably say Derek Carr. To me, I think Jimmy. The reason I say that is he has more swing for upside. I think Jimmy G is more. Who Jimmy G is. Right. Let him do what he do. Don't expect too much out of him. As long as he doesn't do anything to hurt you, you're okay with Jimmy G.
Will he be worth it for Vegas?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to think he's flashy enough for Vegas. I think he's going to be simple. I think the running game is going to be an important piece for them. It's going to be a major piece for any type of success for the Raiders this year.
Danny Dimes prove it?
I mean, I think
maybe.
I think he's got a shot. I just like that they don't have just a whole bunch of big name guys. Like they just got guys that are going to work their butt off, and you obviously got Saquon,
right? Mm-hmm.
So
Darren Waller's there now. I think that's
that's huge for them.
Big Darren Waller guy here.
Yeah, that's huge.
Before we go to break, Drake, we can take this a little longer. About an hour ago, on conference realignment, back in the news, Pete Thamel tweets, the potential additions of Cal, Stanford, and SMU to the ACC are again under serious consideration. Some ACC presidents met this morning to discuss financial models that would come with these additions. Most of these models, Thamel says, would take significant concessions, is what he's calling it, from the new additions, including that Cal and Stanford would both get a similar but reduced share to what the ACC members are, and potentially that SMU would have to be willing to take no broadcast media revenue for the first 7 years they're in the league.
Dang.
That's got to be close to a non-starter for SMU. Like, how is that worth it?
Yeah, that makes no sense. Because I still think this move, what does it do for the ACC? Right? I still think the ACC is poachable. not coachable, poachable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I look up and down the ACC. I still think that Miami's got to be eyeing a move somewhere. I think Florida State and Clemson have got to be.
Florida State wants out.
Eyeing a move somewhere. You know what I mean? So what does it do? It just basically leaves you in the same position that you are. I think it kind of sticks, a thumb in the air, like basically, down for SMU. Like, this is how we think of you. Have you ever seen? Yeah. So there's it's a funny video. You would have to go look it up. But Dave Chappelle, he's playing Rick James's kind of part, right? Dave Chappelle steps in, and there's a couple ladies in the building, and he says, "I give those 2 thumbs down." Boom. That's like basically what they're doing to SMU. I give SMU 2 thumbs down. And that would be terrible for SMU to take that deal. The conference is going to still get poached. It's not going to be probably have the same strength or relevance that it's had.
Right.
If I'm SMU, I'm looking Big 12. But I don't know if Big 12 wants them. I think they should. Great academic school you would add to the mix. I mean, you're not really getting the academics of the Pac-12.
Right.
You're getting A State and Arizona. But that could be a good add for that academic, presence. I don't know.
So with SMU, I think taking no broadcast media rights money is dumb. So I would rather stay in the American.
Yeah.
But here's an off the wall option. Say the Big 12 is done for now. They're not interested in you. You don't want no money from the ACC. Do you look to the Mountain West?
I think that could be a good fit for them.
Maybe a better geographic fit, a little closer.
I think that could be a good fit for them. I think competitive wise, that'd probably fit them better as well.
Mm-hmm. The other thing to keep in mind with the ACC is that with the 15 schools that are there voting, you need 12 of them to vote yes on any new additions. They're sitting at 11 pretty consistently. Wow. So it's Carolina, NC State, Clemson, and FSU are the teams that are voting no. We don't want them in, and that tracks with everything we've heard before. So you just got to convince one of
It's
those
always
schools.
The big boys.
Always is.
And it's the poachable ones.
Well,
not the coachable ones.
The ones that are
they're looking to get out.
Right. So not even the ones that would be poached, the ones that are just trying to get the heck out of Dodge while they can. Something the ACC is discussing is a performance pool for success. So the better you do, the more money you get. One team or one school that has that set up right now, Strick, is Gonzaga in the WCC. Gonzaga makes more money than everyone else because they make it to the NCAA tournament consistently in men's basketball. They've been there in women's basketball. Volleyball is up there. Baseball is a player as well. Depending on how big that pool is, maybe that's enough to keep the ACC together, even if one of those big boys leaves. But I don't think tiering that money is enough to make any of them stay.
Agreed. No pushback on that. I would do the same thing. I'd be okay if I'm a top tier. I'd be okay with performance.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the landscape of the ACC, especially in football. I'm like, yeah, I can dominate this. I'm definitely going to be 10-2, 11-1. I'm going to be up there on a regular basis. So let's go. If I'm that guy, but if at the bottom of that grouping, I don't know if I'm feeling it.
Tough. Eric Strickland, Austin Norman. We're at Haymarket Park for BP with DP. We'll take our last break of the show. DP's in the building, Nick's in the building. Hopefully we can get one of those gents on. We'll cross it over to wrap up on the block after this.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, Nebraska National Guard, 55th Wing, and the Lincoln Airport Authority presents the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, featuring the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, the F-16 Viper demo team, F-35, and the Air Force Wings of Blue. Experience a spectacle that your family will remember forever. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show, Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th at Lincoln Air Park. Parking and admission are free. Learn more at lincolnairshow.com.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal cars come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
It's less than 1 month until the Guardians of Freedom Air Show comes to Lincoln's Air Park on August 26th and 27th. The show can't happen without the efforts of volunteers, and they need your help. This is a great opportunity to raise money for civic clubs, student organizations, club sports, and others who want to be close to the high-flying action. For more details on how to volunteer at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, visit LincolnAirShow.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
On the block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up on the block. I've traded that one Husker Hall of Famer for another. Stricky's getting ready to swing. Jay, what up?
I'm ready to watch the action. That's all I want to do.
Up here in the air conditioning?
Yeah. It's still man, it's so hot outside. You can have your air conditioning on. It's still hot.
See, I don't think it's that bad in here anymore. I've also been in here since 1 o'clock.
Oh, so you just became immune to it.
I guess. Used to it, adapted. I don't know. Something like that.
The great one's adjusting you to the great one.
I'm trying to be every day. Maybe not a great one. Trey Lance named QB3 of the 49ers today, beat out by Sam Darnold. Not a great look. Is the fact that Trey Lance this far into his career, QB3, is that on him? Is it on San Francisco? A mix of both?
I think it's both. And really it's more on San Francisco because, look, he had limited, playing time when they picked him. And you got to think, he played good. He had a good year, and he's athletic, and he can run and everything like that. Matter of fact, he's from a small town in Minnesota called, I think, Farmington. And remember, during COVID, he only played one game.
Yeah.
So essentially, he didn't play football for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And their game was like in the spring.
It was.
Yeah. So he had missed a lot of time, and then you're expecting him to compete at the highest level. I think he had some injury, bug issues that just happens to a lot of people. Some of them are freak injury. He had the hand injury, then he had the foot. He was actually playing pretty decent against the Bears in the downpour last year, and then he got hurt, and then he did something, the immature thing, which was on injury reserve, and then he was outed at being at the strip club, and so that lets you know his level of maturity wasn't there. And then Brock Purdy took off and played the quarterback position in that system very well. But I fought the 49ers. They gave up 3 first-round picks for this dude, 3 to trade up for him. It was probably one of the biggest trades in the last decade for a quarterback. They took a chance on him, right? You got to think they overlooked some better and more established prospects for him, and to turn the page on him this quick, it's their fault. Not saying that they got to force him on the team. They have to put more time into him, and I think it's also a bad timing thing to where the offseason in the NFL has changed. They don't get a lot of time with players now.
Right.
So if you're not a starter or a rotational player, it's hard to develop because the lack of reps, the lack of having to be there really hurts some of the younger players. You see it in preseason all the time. And so a lot of times the preseason games is their practice, and that's why they do a lot more joint practices. But, you can see it coming because, they didn't budge off of Brock Purdy, even with a pretty significant elbow injury that he was the starter. They went out and got Sam Darnold, who can play a good game or two, and it started in the NFL, and he was a high draft choice as well. And they feel like if somebody like Sam Darnold comes in there that's shown some flashes of being a decent quarterback, besides seeing ghosts against Bill Belichick's defense, and then you got a guy that's, when you watch him play, you see the things why they drafted him: big, fast, arm talent. Like, he can throw it, right? He can throw it short, medium, intermediate. It's just the processing isn't as fast. It's always just like a second or two late. I call that tape delay in basketball, right? He's a bad rotate. He plays bad off the ball defense, or doesn't rotate it, or doesn't call the pick and roll out. So for him, I think I wouldn't look at it as such a setback. I'd look at it as, if he really hones in on it and really comes to terms what he needs to get better, maybe try to play the quarterback position as close as Brock Purdy as he can. He has superior skills. Then in a year or two, he'll be a lot better. And here could be an example. Even though Derek Carr's starting, down there in New Orleans and was signed to be the starter. When you watch Jameis play after being with Peyton and coming back after injury and setback after setback, he's a lot better quarterback now if you get to watch him. So if Trey Lance gets in the right situation, he'll be good. But he's got a long way to go. And so, I'd like to see him. I would say in Kansas City with Andy Reid, but you're never going to, leapfrog Patrick Mahomes. If you could get him in somewhere Andy Reid-esque that knows how to get the most out of a quarterback within a season or two, you'll see him be a pretty good starter. But I never really thought coming out in the draft, even though I thought he was a pretty good prospect, to give up 3 first-rounders. If you give up that much draft equity,
you got to be right.
You got to be right. And especially taking a risk on a guy that only played 1 game and only was a 1-year starter.
Yeah.
So you're essentially going, and he's playing at a little bit lower level, even though North Dakota State's a great program, and they've done really good. But Carson Wentz by this time has already kind of shown some chinks in his armor, so you have to really go back. So I fought the 49ers, but then also I fought Trey Lance, but I don't fault Trey Lance for them drafting him. I don't fault Trey Lance for not being developed and not having an offseason. You can't dictate when you get hurt.
Right.
And in his case, he's been injured. So I think they're going to try to get something for him, but there's nothing there for him. There's no value.
So 2 things. First of all, you mentioned the Andy Reid-esque system for him. If you're the Chiefs, is he worth a flyer as a backup? And if you're Trey Lance, do you want to go there, hit the free agent market, and say, hey, I spent a year or 2 with Andy Reid. Let me show you I'm better.
Yeah, I was trying to think of somebody that had been under the Andy Reid coaching tree that he could go. But if I'm him, I'm going to Kansas City. I think
Doug Peterson in Jacksonville.
Right.
Trevor's there.
Still, but if you got under Andy Reid, learning how to be a pro, right, with Patrick Mahomes, really humble yourself and be the backup and be the guy that's just a sponge and learning how to play it. Because Andy Reid loves to coach.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gonna look at Trey Lance like I can, rehab him, right? It's like, remember when Andy Reid had Michael Vick and Kolb and all those guys, and next thing you know that you got a QB battle. He'll never be as good as Mahomes. But what Andy Reid can do is provide him the structure, the coaching, the continuity from top to bottom, and it'll make him a better player, and he can go on somewhere and have a pretty successful career. And you really, to be honest with you, starting a little late sometimes works out for the best because look at Jordan Love, seems to be doing pretty good up in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers had to wait until Brett Favre left town. So if you really become a better quarterback, skill-wise and fundamental-wise, it'll work out for him. The biggest thing with him is fundamentals.
The San Francisco aspect of this, then, that I think is funny is they were very heavily rumored to be in on Mac Jones. After the draft, they say, no, he was never our guy. It was Trey Lance the whole time. Would they have been better off with Mac Jones?
They sure would have because he knows how to play. He's like a more polished version of
Alabama Purdy.
Oh, yeah, right. And also, to be honest with you, if Trey Lance went to New England, they had Cam Newton. He's probably a younger, better version of Cam Newton at that point in his career, even though Cam came in dominating. So it's amazing that he didn't pick that fit right in. Probably would have actually been better for Mac Jones, but they hit a home run with Purdy, and they got lucky. You took a flyer on a quarterback at the very end. Look, you passed on him 4 times. So don't act like you're like, oh, we know we're going to get this dude with the last pick in the draft, and now he's going to end up being the starter. But here's what's going to be interesting is if Purdy struggles, because he hasn't went through a slump yet.
No.
How does San Francisco react? We know what Sam Darnold is. And he's fragile. He's average at best. Do you go to Trey Lance? Because Trey Lance has done some good things.
Right.
And I think with reps and reps and reps, I think his processing will get faster. That's just everybody. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. If I'm them, I'd like to find a way to get him in the game. So if you're blowing out some teams and get him in and do some things, he's more valuable to somebody else. You think of a team like, I'm just thinking of like a Seattle. I'm thinking of like a Cardinals, right? Somebody like that to where Pocket Hercules isn't very good. They're going up in there and having a couple, journeymen starting. Heck, even like if, the Giants got, Danny Dimes back, but if they didn't and they only franchised them, you're looking at a guy that you could just do a 1-year deal with them, and then you're saving salary cap room, and you could have Saquon Barkley back, but they chose to go with the quarterback. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota doesn't bring Kirk Cousins back.
Take a shot
at him, because here's what people don't understand about the NFL and GMs. If you don't bring Kirk Cousins back, which I think they should, because I think over the last couple of years he is not Kirk Cousins as much. I think he's actually a pretty good quarterback, and he's gotten better. But just say they do, right? Or just say they bring Kirk Cousins in. It gives the GM and the head coach more time. You're buying yourself because you have the built-in excuse of Trey Lance. Where, look, he was the number. It's like Al Davis. You went and got Jim Plunkett. You know what I mean? Right. And stuff like that. So I think if you do it that way, it'll be fine. But who knows? But you know what's more important right now?
Stricky in the cage.
Swing and a miss. Right? Because he punched out. He might need to go. Look, he turned the hat over. He turned and went from backwards, hat frontwards, nubbed it. Okay, he's 0-2.
I'm going to get out of here. I got to go down.
Okay.
I was promised.
Hold on. Strick took the hat off. He going sleeveless. Now. Strike 3. He's out of there. High heat. He throwing him high heat. Gone. Strick.
Gone to the backside.
Yeah. He looked like Jake.
Come on, Stricky. You can do
it. There you go.
There's a 4-3.
Yeah, he got in there. I think he made all that.
There's a 3-U.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's looking at the hand, right?
Yeah, Strick.
The shot.
Strick's walking around with one golf glove on in baseball, looking at his hands. Bro, you need two. You need 2 gloves. Look at him. He's gonna have blisters tomorrow. Austin, what can we expect for you?
Okay, so let off the show with this. I'll tell you as well.
I see you got your Warrior Legion post. Look at you got the Legion on.
This is I actually played a game in Haymarket with this team. I'm wearing the shirt for it.
Okay.
So it's just bringing back good memories. Don't expect a whole lot, right? I'm not gonna, hit that to the gap like that young man down there just did. Like, it's not going to be a laser show. It's not going to be fireworks.
Right. You're just going to do a contact hitter.
I'm going to be a contact hitter. But here's the thing. I'm telling you this now. When I get down there, I step in the box, I'm the baddest dude on the field.
All right.
I got to believe that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm picking up on your vibe right now. Okay.
I haven't swung competitively in 7 years.
Okay. Well, just don't be like Jake going down there. He's a right-handed swinger. And he said 8 years ago he had a good time. He had a good experience batting left-handed, and he couldn't even sniff a ball. And then he threw out his back, and then he was all done. Yeah, so
classic.
Hey,
so I'm gonna go down there, have a good time. I'm gonna be the baddest man on the field for those.
We're hyped for you, Austin. I'm hyped, man.
My first experience.
Austin, you almost got me so excited I thought about going down there, and I said nope.
So close. Not quite good enough.
Yeah, man. I seen Strick go down there, go over, man. I don't know if I could live with myself after that, man.
We'll let you do the radio thing. This is Ben on the Block. I'm Austin Norman. He's Jay Foreman. Stick around. Old School DP and Jay comes your way in just a sec.
Remington Homes has really expanded and taken off in the last 5 years.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders talking about their exciting new division.